A little boy came back from Sunday school, and when his mother asked what the lesson was about, he said, it was a story about two pastors who saw a man lying in the ditch, but they didn't bother to help since he had already been robbed. Brothers and sisters, today we listen to the story of Good Samaritan. We are called to love our neighbor. In this short joke, you might think, oh, this might be not true. But it is true. In my country, you will probably know that the civil war has been going on. People, instead of helping one another in some war-torn cities, some people, there's a group, they make a group, and they might be going, entering into the houses where the family already internally displaced or left the place. What does this group do? They will be kind of taking the properties of others for their own sake. What a kind of a sad thing to see that instead of helping and kind of, keeping other properties safe, they even took those properties away. Well, because there are quite a lot of, crazy things going on, starvation, and also not secure, all these things. So it is very, very important for all of us to learn from the Good Samaritan. And when the military coup happened in my country, I also kind of involved in the protest, distributing the water to the people who protest against the military coup. And two parishioners from my old parish, they came and meet me. Father, it's not good, you involved in this thing. And yes, it's not good, but I'm not protesting the military government. But I, want to show my stand, that I stand with these people who really fight for the right or justice and the right thing. So I'm not trying to be the politician left or right. I'm just trying to be the priest who, learn the virtues of the Samaritan. Well, they were not very happy, but however, I told them, I'm not a politician, but I still have to, stand for the justice and for the right thing. You will probably know the story of Lin Htut, a young Jewish woman from Hungary, was just 20 years old when she and her family were deported to Auschwitz in 1944. Upon arrival, her mother and two youngest siblings were immediately killed. Lily and her remaining sisters were forced into labor and during the unspeakable horrors of the Nazi death camp. As the war neared its end, Lily was moved through various camps until she was finally liberated in 1945. Weak, starved, emotionally broken, she found herself in a displaced persons camp in Germany, unsure of what came next. It was there that a brief but unforgettable encounter changed her life. An American soldier, seeing Lily's condition, free in rags, and haunted, offered her something simple but powerful, a message of hope. He wrote a note on the edge of a German banknote and handed it to her. The message read, "Good luck and happiness." A soldier, 1945. The soldier's name was Private Harold Hall, a Jewish American. He didn't know Lily. They were never met again, but his act of kindness became one of Lily's most cherished memories. She kept that note for decades. Reflecting later, Lily said, He was the first human being who treated me like a human being. Brothers and sisters, quite a lot of things going on. I mean, if you look at my country, terrible. We might be kind of called to carry on our duty and civic duty or whatever duty. But however, we can still practice the act of kindness, like this soldier. Treat human as human. And so in today's gospel, Jesus reminds us of the heart of our faith. This is very important. The young, man asked, the scribe asked, what am I supposed to do in order to enter into the kingdom, the eternal salvation, to win the award of heavenly homeland? What must I do? Well, love God with all your hearts. And not only that, but love your neighbor as yourself as well. He didn't say whether good neighbor or bad neighbor. He says, love your neighbor. So it is a very, very high call, noble call for all of us to do. So, what are we supposed to do? We are in kind of a dilemma. Where are we supposed to kind of follow the laws and regulations, kind of provided upon us by the civil authority? Or are we supposed to kind of love our neighbors, kind of going against all these laws and regulations? Brothers and sisters, we just have to be clear. Don't be left or don't be right. Just be Christian. Be the disciple of Jesus. And at the same time, listen carefully. The teaching of Jesus. Jesus teaches us very wisely and the right thing. Matthew chapter 22:21. Render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. But at the same time, as of the Apostle 5:29, we must obey God rather than man. And Romans 13:1-7, let every person be subject to governing authorities. Brothers, sisters, so today we are called to be the Samaritan. We are called to be like the American soldier who practiced the act of kindness. He carried on the duty, but at the same time, he showed the act of kindness. And this is a great moment, brothers and sisters, to teach one another as well, to our generation too. Are we going to teach to hate the people? Or are we going to teach them to do the right things? So today, while we are reflecting on the story of Good Samaritan, let us remember the true teaching, which is love. Love is the most important thing. The greatest story ever told about love is the story of, God, who came down on earth as a human being, and then he won the salvation for all of us. We who are the children, let us be the instrument of God's love.